Overwhelmed by the forces of House Wolford, Esfrost's troops are scattered and driven from the Crown City. Glenbrook, at last, is free. Several days after this fateful battle, Queen Cordelia announces her intent to abdicate the throne and make way for another. Roland Glenbrook, his face no longer hidden from the world, will take his rightful place at the seat of power. With the prince's friends having only just finished grieving his death, and his enemies having only just finished toasting to it, this news shocks the foundations not only of Glenbrook, but of Norzelia itself. Prince Roland has proven his pedigree by storming the walls of Whiteholm and routing his enemies, delivering his sister to safety in the process. The prince becomes king, and condemns the schemes of Gustadolf, making known Esfrost's plot to usurp the throne. However, the people's reaction to this news is not quite a chorus of approval. It is plain that the ravages of war and the shame of subjugation have left an indelible mark on the once prosperous nation. Although the battle for Glenbrook is behind them, Serenoa and the rest of the city's liberators must make ready for a struggle of an entirely different sort.
Congratulations on returning to your rightful throne, King Roland.
Ah, you've returned. My friend, a word.
Yes.
I am honored to have had you by my side on this journey. To be able to call you friend.
As am I, Roland.
Your Majesty, representatives from Hyzant have arrived.
We shan't make undue demands of your time, King Roland. We've simply come to say farewell.
Without your aid, my people would still be under Esfrost's iron rule. Glenbrook owes you a debt of gratitude.
Consider the debt paid. The knowledge we gleaned of Elfric's capabilities was more than worth our troubles.
Indeed, it surpassed my every expectation. The Holy One is sure to be pleased with the results.
Your Majesty, can we trust you to lift the embargo and keep Esfrost subdued?
Of course. Lord Wolford has promised his full cooperation in that regard.
Your Majesty, lest you misunderstand your friend's position, allow me to make one matter abundantly clear. Minister Serenoa is of the Saintly Seven. He is not to serve at your whims, but by the grace of the Hierophant.
I understand, but he is also a Lord of Glenbrook. More importantly, he is my friend. As such, I would ask for his assistance in the days ahead, as I have in days past.
Your Majesty, it is plain that the friendship between you two runs deep. However, the rules of politics are old and immutable.
And what does the Lord himself think of his new position?
Of course, I am grateful for the honor Hyzant has bestowed upon me. I will do all in my power to serve both the Hierophant and King Roland with all faithfulness.
In other words, the Hierophant does not have your full loyalty.
Well,
Glenbrook and Hyzant are to be two nations united in purpose. Surely it is reasonable that Lord Serenoa acts in service to both? Perhaps King Roland and the Hierophant should discuss my lord's role together.
You are right, of course. It is not our place to assume the goddess's intent.
Very well. I hope to meet with the Holy One as soon as my duties allow. I expect busy days ahead for you, Serenoa. Be be prepared.
Certainly, Your Majesty.
Milo shall stay in Glenbrook for the time being. If there is aught she can assist you with, consider her at your complete disposal. Remember, Milo, that you are the symbol of friendship between our two nations.
But of course, I live to serve, Minister.
And with that, we shall take our leave.
May we meet again soon.
They leave us with a spy. It seems we still haven't won their trust entirely.
Whatever secrets they uncover will only attest to our commitment to the friendship between us.
Still, their actions speak volumes. Their aid has not come without expectation of just recompense. Already they seek to make Lord Serenoa their puppet.
But we need Hyzant's aid to crush Esfrost.
By the same token, we cannot resist Hyzant without Esfrost's might. And once Esfrost is laid low, Glenbrook will have served its purpose. What then would stop Hyzant from tightening their grip?
Just as they did with the Rosal.
Yeah, so right now we're between a rock and a hard place. Because right now we're in Lord Serenoa is about to become Hyzant's puppet, and they're going to have him do all the things they want to do, and they're going to get more and more power, probably increase taxes on salt. Meanwhile, sure, we can try and maybe team up with Asfrost, but they're going to conquer everything anyway, so either way, our freedoms and all that are probably going to leave.
The injustice I saw at the source is not something I'll soon forget.
On top of that, yeah, the Roselle will not be happy under Hyzant rule.
If you require proof of Hyzant's true nature, you need only remember.
I know. This country is my home, built by my father and the kings before him, safeguarded by my sister and generations of my forebears. I will rebuild it, restore its glory and its pride. We will not be treated as dogs at the end of a leash.
For now, we must look within. Only after that work is done should we look without.
Oh, what are you gonna do now, Cornelia?
Oh, it's you.
May we speak for a moment?
Of course, brother. My apologies. I'm so happy you're alive. It's just, I believed you dead for so long.
I understand. But hiding from the world was the only way.
You needn't explain. I don't blame you in the least.
Thank you. About General Avlora.
Avlora, she was
a servant of Esfrost. Our enemy.
I know.
Then you know there was no room for mercy. Not if we wanted to win back Glenbrook. Not if I wanted to rescue you from Esfrost's clutches. However, I thought you deserved to know. She did have parting words. She asked me to protect you in her stead. It seems she cared for you, in her own way.
She did. She was harsh, but always kind.
Our scouts are yet searching for her, but her wounds were grave. I fear when we find her, she will...
Ah.
Cordelia, what's wrong?
I'm fine. I simply need to rest.
Was she wounded at some point? Or was she poisoned?
Fine. I think not. I'll call a healer.
No. This whole time, I've refused to show even a moment of weakness. It seems my efforts have taken a toll.
You did well, sister. Now you may relinquish your burdens. I'm here, and I won't leave you again. But please, visit the infirmary. Some bed rest will surely set both of our minds at ease.
Thank you. I'm glad to see your trials haven't stripped you of your kindness. Welcome home, brother.
Oh, how mad is he gonna be?
So, the Crown City has fallen. I see.
Are you not gonna care that I just killed your brother and sister, or no?
And what of General Avlora?
Oh, I killed her.
She fell into the Norzelia River and has not been seen since.
And my siblings, Thalos and Erica?
Oh, those bitches are dead.
They died, fighting bravely in battle. My condolences, Your Grace.
I understand. I have fewer pieces on the board than ever now.
Pieces. Really is true what they say about him.
He doesn't care about family or people who respect him. He only cares about their usefulness. And when they're no longer useful, discard the pieces and replace them.
It seems I was wrong to think that Hysant would remain idle. Or was my more grievous error to be taken in by the prince's false death? Regardless, I was a fool to show House Wolford any mercy.
Actually, yes.
Your Grace, reports from the battlefield tell of an unknown weapon being brought to bear against our forces.
Oh? Continue.
They say it sank one of our ships in a blast of purple.
Our iron, our pride, torn apart like sheets of parchment before a storm. We mustn't allow Hysant to think they've won the upper hand. I intend to answer their weapon with one of my own.
It's gonna be something like a cannon. Oh, okay. I'll save again. There's just a cutscene, but I'll save. Thank you. Oh, cheerful music.
After retaking Whiteholm Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of the line of Glenbrook sweeps the kingdom. Yet not everyone is quick to welcome Roland back with open arms. Life under Frosty rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime. Roland's absence, it seems, made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
Bannersworth, Chapter 15. Whew, we're getting there, I think.
So that is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriot and his royalists cozied up to Espros in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriot much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly, without interrupting the people's lives.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
But all the while, he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait, does he intend to march on Hysant next?
100%.
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific. But the goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Esfrost. Not anymore. He said it will all be over once the death knell is ready.
What is this death's knell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles. Thalos claimed it is powerful enough to break through the goddess's shield.
To think Esfrost is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
So much for their reign of peace. Taking over Glenbrook was only the first move in a bigger gambit to seize the source.
I am disturbed to learn of Gustadolf's plan. But rebuilding our capital must take priority.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and discuss how best to proceed from there. House Wolfort will lend whatever aid you need.
Thank you, Serenoa. But since you are one of their Saintly Seven now, I'd ask you to keep an eye on Hyzant as well.
Cordelia?
Apologies. A brief spell of dizziness.
I have been looking everywhere for you, Your Highness.
Patriat.
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries are still healing. Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
Well, at least someone cares about her injuries. Then again, we're all like, oh, she collapsed.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia.
That's true.
Rest now. Leave everything to me.
Keep going, shoo-shoo.
All right.
Yeah, the city looks awful.
I got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzant and see what aid they can give us. Was there anything of note besides damage?
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's returned.
Makes sense.
Esfrost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. And a damn good one at that. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability, instead of their birthright.
Just as in Esfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us, since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Yep, and that's Gustadolf being a cunning tactician, whatever. Give them a little piece of the freedom, and in case he ever lost Glenbrook, they would probably rise up and do whatever they could to get Gustadolf back in power so they can go back to being happy.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriat, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke. I do not believe we can trust him.
Distinguished members of House Wolfort, how hard you are all working to rebuild our capital. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great honor visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks, myself included, of course. We are so grateful for House Wolfort's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem. His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Esfrost. but the people have had their fill of war. And I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with disfavor. I only beg you take every care going forward.
I think the problem right now is Aspfrost is going to make a move and we have to counter it.
A warning.
Even so, there is naught we can do but focus on rebuilding.
Yep.
Indeed. Let us return to the king and apprise him of our progress.
I would walk the city with Sheila a bit longer and speak with the people.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
Well, that's the first time you said my love in a long time. Almost makes you forget they were getting married. Oh god, we have 13 side stories. Oh jeez. 1 second. Alright. Okay, we have 13 bloody side stories to do. Medina pledges herself to House Wolford so she could save people regardless of the order of things. However, and by the way, I'm happy I recruited you. You are a great healer. I love your abilities. Alright, Medina, what's up?
By the goddess, if it isn't my savior, I am truly in your debt.
I remember you. I treated you at the ministry that day.
I feared it was the end, but thanks to you, I yet live.
I was not alone in treating you. And I am happy to see you well.
I hear tell the infirmary was overwhelmed that day. How fortunate the other man was a Rosellen.
Yeah, that's the problem. She wanted to save him, but no.
Never have I felt more blessed to belong to the goddess's flock. Praise be the goddess. May her blessings rain upon you.
That's gonna make her feel sucky. It's like you save one life, but at the cost of another.
I do not mean to pry, but was that...
Yes. It is he who survived, at the expense of the Rosellan man's life. Had we treated the Rosellan first, we might have saved them both. But I could not find the courage to disobey orders.
And, in the eyes of the faithful, you acted in accordance with the goddess's teachings. Denying medical treatment to non-believers is certainly one way for the Holy One to breed loyalty amongst Hyzant's subjects.
Be that as it may, if only I'd had the courage of my convictions. The courage to give both their lives equal weight.
It is hard for one drop to alter the current.
So it is. Nevertheless, I wish to try.
Well, I wish you all the luck in the world. Alright. Benedict and Eridor uphold a custom they have shared for 30 years. Ah, okay.
All right, lads and lasses, lay down your arms. Let your bruises remind you of the lessons learned today.
Ah, what fortuitous timing. I still owe you for the drinks from the other evening. I wondered if I might treat you tonight.
Apologies, lass, but I've got places to be. Perhaps another time.
He seemed troubled by something. Perhaps I'm overthinking it.
Perhaps it's none of your business. Perhaps it is.
Let us end our day's work here.
It is early, is it not? Is something amiss?
No, nothing at all. Just my attention is required elsewhere for a time.
Elsewhere? Curious.
How many have you had?
Not enough. Just one for you, I take it.
Yes.
Went by in a flash. Can you believe it's been 30 years?
The time has escaped us. The memory of that day, however, I doubt ever will.
Years ago, during the Salt Iron War.
Thrice damned, can't move. Always thought I'd meet my end with a beautiful lass by my side.
You have many days ahead of you yet, Eredor. We will see you returned home.
Don't try to run, you curs!
Leave me be. I'll just slow you down. It was my cursed pride that got us into this. Only I should suffer for it. We don't all need to die today. Run!
Even in the face of death, you refuse to set aside your foolish pride. I followed you into this hell of my own will, and I will see you delivered from it.
You fool!
Charge!
Come and die. Yeah!
Man, so Bandit killed them all off.
That would have been it for us, had Lord Simon not met their charge in time.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Aye, and the only punishment for my pride were these aches that keep me awake at night.
We hungered for glory all those years ago, without a care for how it would serve us later on.
A couple of would-be heroes who couldn't be convinced they weren't invincible.
Yet here we are, drinking, to celebrate the end of that war.
Only to be
I
another
do
one.
not wish to reminisce upon the past. A toast that I may never again repeat the mistakes of my youth. But before that...
Yeah?
You have served House Wolford well, Eredor. That said, I've a feeling we'll need your sturdy shield even more going forward.
You need me to lead a charge? I'm your man. I'll leave anything fancier than that to you. For House Wolford!
For House Wolford.
Well, they are buds. They just have their own way of showing it. Stop that they lived through that together, but yeah. I like that little bit of story. Oh, view all of Benedict's character stories. A toast to the future. Alright, now we got Roland. Roland harbors doubt about his station, but Sereno reminds him that he is noble in his own way. Even though I am suspecting Sir Maxwell might be his real father, because everyone thought he was Sir
Roland,
Maxwell.
what are you doing out here?
There's hardly a better place to become lost in one's thoughts. Don't you agree?
I suppose. However, if aught weighs on your mind, it may serve you better to turn to a friend.
Then let me ask, do you believe me too immature for my station?
Not at all. Quite the opposite, in fact.
But the other nobles loved to gossip of my disinterest in politics and intrigue, and mocked my love of hawking.
Well, also you gotta remember, you just took over after Asfrost Hat for a while, and so they're unsure of your capabilities as a ruler for, well, you technically have been dead for a while now.
You said it yourself. Gossip and sniping, nothing more. Pay no mind to nobles and their petty judgments. The people who matter, your subjects, hold you dearly in their hearts.
Some of them do.
Stories abound of their love for you.
Hey, go peddle your junk somewhere else.
And why would I do that, my good sir? I see no reason to forego such a bustling avenue simply to please a stranger.
A stranger? You're posted in front of my damn shop. You're stealing my customers from right under my nose.
Yeah, if that door is your shop, yeah, he should move.
Oh, I am? I'm not sure your lack of customers could be blamed on me. Surely the proprietor bears some responsibility for...
What bickering is this?
None of your business, whelp. Now leave us to our negotiations.
I don't think he knows who he's talking to.
Prince Roland, is that really you?
A prince, you say? Well,
A distinguished gentleman such as yourself must be mortified to have your customers bear witness to this childish bickering.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. My temper got the best of me.
And you, merchant. If you mean to trade in Glenbrook, I trust you have procured the proper licenses and approvals.
Well, the process takes some days, you see. Pardon, Your Highness.
Then your business shall have to wait some days, it seems. Shall I summon a member of the Kingsguard to explain the law in detail?
No, there'll be no need of that, Highness. I'll just be on my way.
I don't think he was a legit merchant anyways. He was going to try and swindle that guy to get him to move.
Thank you, Prince Roland. Come visit any time and I'll let you have your pick of my wares.
Like Sarah said, who cares about appeasing politicians? All it cares about is the people you rule over.
Your place has always been with your people. You could walk down the main avenue and settle disputes with a single word.
Don't tell me you were watching. They were petty arguments, nothing more.
As petty as they might have been, you were happy to do it. What better proof of royalty is there than that?
But it wasn't because I was wise that I solved their problems. It was my name and status that lent my words weight. How do you imagine a kingdom with not a single dissatisfied soul would look?
That's a difficult thing to imagine.
Indeed. I suppose the best one can hope for is to do what we can, while we can.
Well, we can start envisioning such a nation. That one day we might build it. Together.
I like the sound of that. No doubt the answers we seek lie ahead, so long as we stay honest with ourselves. And so long as we work together, you and I, Serenoa.
Friends to the end. Unless somehow I can screw Roland over, and I've viewed all of Roland's stories. Who's next? Frederica decides to cook a meal for Serenoa, but even the best laid plans can go awry. Oh, right, her last one is, I want to help Serenoa in some way, and then they suggested to cook me something. I was like, ah, yes, they'll refill him with vigor. How's she gonna screw it up?
Do you have a moment, Sheila?
Oh, Frederica. Is something the matter?
Well, I invited Serenoa to have dinner with me tonight.
That's wonderful. Are you cooking for him?
I am. I've been practicing with the book you gave me. I was hoping to finally show him what I've learned.
I am now scared. I got a feeling she's gonna have Gila test something and Gila's just gonna be dead.
Then allow me to help. What are you making?
A warm soup full of meatballs. A hearty, meaty, savory stew to tickle the tongue and sate the stomach. Or so the book describes it.
No. Just no.
That sounds like quite a mouthful, in more ways than one.
The author is rather verbose, yes. Anyhow, I also want to make an appetizer. Might you be able to lend a hand?
Cooking is hardly my specialty, but say no more. I'd love to.
That did not sound great. A soup full of meatballs.
Oh dear.
This is disappointing, to say the least.
Oh, and
we're almost out of time. Serenoa will be back any minute now.
It's fine. He's gonna be like, it's the thought that matters.
Excuse me, Lady Frederica.
Oh, wait.
Lord Serenoa has just sent word that he has been held up at a meeting. He says there is a chance he may not even return tonight.
I see. Thank you for letting me know.
Never mind. He lucked out.
It sounds like your dinner may get postponed.
A blessing in disguise. It gives us time to cook this again and do it right this time.
Lord Serenoa may not even return tonight.
But there is a chance he might. And I refuse to disappoint him. Would you help me, Gila?
Of course, Frederica. I shall do my very best to see this through with you.
I am very curious what the soup looks like.
I cannot thank you enough.
The vegetables are done, though they are a far cry from perfect.
The meatballs are ready too. Now all we have to do is stew them.
Frederica, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
It appears we've run out of time.
I was on my way here when something urgent came to my attention. I apologize for returning so late. I know we were supposed to have dinner tonight.
I am just happy you're here. Besides, I am the one who should apologize. I wanted to cook you a meal, but failed terribly on my first attempt, so it isn't yet ready. I'm sorry, Serenoa.
Don't look so down, Frederica. I was delighted when you asked me to share a meal. Now that I'm back, why don't I help you with the food?
Serenoa.
Thank you again for inviting me. I'm overjoyed we could spend this time together.
As am I. I enjoyed cooking with you as well.
The time we spend together is very precious to me. I regret that my duties have been keeping us apart lately. But when I noticed the sky was even more beautiful than ever this night, I hurried home, hoping we could gaze upon its beauty together.
It's strange. When I was in Esfrost, I would look up at the same sky. But it felt so much colder there. The stars seemed as if frozen. They did not twinkle the way they do now that I am with you, Serenoa.
Frederica, promise me that you will always stay by my side. I need you, now more than ever.
Of course, Serenoa. I wish to gaze up at the same sky, sit beneath the same moon, and walk the same path you do. Together, forever and always.
And Frederica's story is done. Next is Arendor. Arendor brushes off the subject of Benedict's sought-after flower, but why?
Made it in time, my lord.
Arendor, you came.
Lady Destra. Your mother was loved by one and all, my lord. Honoring her this day is the least we can do. Is it just you here, my lord?
We are beset on all sides by tasks large and small. I would not impose my familial obligations on the others.
Spoken like a true leader. Me and your mother may not have been family by blood, but duty bound us just as close.
I am sure she would have been overjoyed to see you by my side. I never had a chance to know her. My only memories are from stories others told me. And still, I somehow can feel the warmth of her embrace, hear the loving sound of her voice.
She was smitten, that is true. She held on to you so tightly, I reckon not even the Dawn Spear could have pried you from her.
Did she?
Lady Destra's smile was brighter than the sun, and near as constant. She treated young Benedict and I like little brothers, though at times we weren't so deserving of her care. Even so, she always had a kind word, and worry enough to spare. There weren't a woman like her in all of Narzelia.
I did not know the bond between you three ran so deep. Benedict never mentioned it.
His lips aren't as loose as mine, especially when it comes to Lady Destra. Speaking of which, here. Your mother would have loved to get one of these from you.
Let me guess, it's the flower that Benedict picked?
A snowbell. My father mentioned her fondness for these flowers. Every year when I visited her, without fail, one of these would be placed in front of her grave. Was that you all this time?
No. Okay, yeah, so Benedict always placed a snowbell at her grave every year.
Well, not exactly, my lord.
They're quite rare, are they not? I often search for them, but I have yet to see one in bloom. Where did you find it?
Well, I made a journey down south. Benedict insisted. Apologies for my absence, my lord.
There is naught to apologize for. 'Twas a thoughtful gesture, and I thank you for it. Somehow, I can feel Mother smiling down upon us.
More than I deserve, if I'm being honest.
Huh. There's already a snowbell. Who could have...
Benedict?
Should have known. Nothing will stop him from his duty.
What was that?
It was nothing, my lord. Seems we're not the only ones carrying a torch for Lady Destra.
Indeed. We are fortunate to be part of such a close-knit house. And that is thanks to those who serve it. I trust I'll see you here again in a year's time, Arendor.
Of course, my lord. Snowbells might capture a moment in time, but your mother inspired loyalty for an eternity.
I can only imagine what kind of character she was. They speak so highly of her. And Arendor's now done. Ah, I accidentally clicked it. That was an accident.
There are more who accepted Esfrost's rule than I imagined.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change. Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful, For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
Perhaps. But his freedom was naught but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolfort messenger. Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolfort, bearing tidings of Lord Simon.
Has he awakened?
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well.
Oh.
And he is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolfort so he can honor you himself.
Oh, I must bring these glad tidings to Serenoa
no.
at once.
Oh no.
How long it has been since I've seen him smile.
No, it's a trap. Okay, if he says no, you come up now at once and I'll fetch Serenoa myself. Is 100% a trap or he's gonna capture Frederica?
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady.
Oh, wait.
But it is not so happy.
Oh.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolfort domain?
Bandits are laying waste to the Rosellan village. To our shame, Castle Wolfort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenoa's wisdom in this matter.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rosellan village defenseless.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
Wait, did his father actually awaken? For a second there I thought it was a trap just to get her, but... Wait.
Well, well. Things are about to get interesting.
I don't know. Maybe it's not a trap after all. It's just the way that started, I thought trap. Alright, we still have 8 more stories. Let me move away from that castle. I accidentally hit it. Alright, Gila reflects on both Frederica's growth and her own changes over the years.
It's become late. We'd best keep an eye out for bandits.
You have a warrior's intuition. You needn't worry. I won't let us come to harm.
Immediately gets ambushed.
It takes no great intuition to see that this world is falling ever deeper into chaos. The reasons, however, remain elusive. Will we see our way safely through this darkness? I cannot say.
We have naught but our duty, and mine is to Prince Roland, whatever might become of House Wolfort.
I find your perspective refreshing. Although it may be direct, you walk the path you've chosen with confidence. On the other hand, I often feel that I'm fumbling. I had thought Gustadov to be a man of reason, but now I see that he will not hesitate to employ deceit to achieve his goals. In a manner of speaking, he and I are not so different. I, too, once hoped to have the influence to change the nation. At least, I told myself so. Really, all I wanted was to be free, and Frederica was simply a means to that end. As long as I had what I wanted, I had no great concern for what became of her.
Gila,
But this war has caused me to reconsider that. I realize that Frederica herself is worth caring for. She's not the sheltered princess I took her to be. Her wits are a match even for Benedict. She surprised me and shamed me. I was wrong to underestimate her, to define her by her birth and station. She represents my greatest failures as a teacher, but also my greatest success. For she has truly taken my lessons to heart. I see now there is no shame in serving another, and no shame in sacrificing my freedom for something greater. Oh, but perhaps I've shared overmuch. For some reason, I find it easy to talk with you.
The feeling is mutual. You are not so aloof as I thought.
just had a thought. When the war is behind us, I may very well open my own school.
Oh, good for you.
Of course, you would be welcome to join me. I would be master of the classroom, and you could be master of the training yard. We could teach our students the art of hawksmanship. Our riders would be first class. Ah, what should our school be named? You will come and teach with me, won't you?
I mean, you just threw us out of nowhere.
Not half so aloof as I thought.
I think that might be the end of Gila's, if I had to guess. Yep, Gila's done. Alright. Oh, the former salt smuggler recounts the promise he made to his late brother. Right, he starts smuggling salt to pay for medicine for his brother who died while he was in jail. Right.
Never saw myself coming this far just to be scrubbing the decks on some ship.
Quiet. This is an important job, even if you think it beneath you.
I meant no disrespect. It's just that my brother and I always figured we'd be passengers on a ship like this.
I see. Was he fond of ships?
Not as such, no.
What's that?
It's my brother. Or rather, his ashes, anyhow.
Huh.
Made a promise to him when we were still small, you see. When he got better, I told him we'd set off to wherever we wanted, eat whatever we wanted, see things nobody'd seen. He always dreamt we'd find a paradise of our own and live like kings. But he never so much as left his sickbed, let alone the duchy itself. I'm a terrible brother. Broke my word. As soon as I saw this ship, it all came flooding back.
You needn't punish yourself. You did all you could to protect him.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, but what's done is done.
I refuse to accept that. Nothing is ever final.
The problem is his brother's kind of dead. Or are you trying to say that since he has his brother's ashes, it still counts as his brother being there, so you can still set off with your brother?
And I dare say, the weather is fair enough for a short test cruise.
We can just take the ship out for a joyride? Don't we need his lordship's permission?
I am my own person and responsible for my own actions, and the consequences of those actions. Besides, I must ensure that the ship is in working order, and you deserve a reward for your labor today. I am certain we can handle ourselves if we work together.
Don't need to tell me twice. The sea air feels wonderful. I had no idea a breeze could feel so good. You never got to go outside, you know, on account of the sickness. You just lay there, staring at the ceiling. But now we can finally see the bright blue sky and feel the winds uncaged. If only one of his dreams is fulfilled, I'm glad it's this one. Thank you, Anna. This has turned into a fine way to honor his memory. He's free now.
There is no need for thanks. This is my job.
So you say. That don't mean I can't be grateful.
That's another one. Even the tavern, meant to be a place for people to forget their worries, sees its share of troubles.
Go on, have another glass. I'm offering top shelf drink for bottom shelf prices tonight. No need to fret over your coin purses.
See? This is why we keep coming back. Nobody treats us better than our Hasabara.
Quite the crowd tonight, eh? Good to see it.
All thanks to you for supplying me with that mead.
Thanks to my good fortune, you mean? I got it for so cheap on account of the batch not measuring quite up to the brewer's usual standards.
Still, look at how happy it's made them. There's nothing I love more than seeing my tavern full to bursting like this. Thank you, Eridor. Truly.
It's nothing, honest.
Ah, and just like that, they've nearly drank me dry. Might have to close up early tonight.
Celebrating something, Hasabara. Whatever it is, we'll drink to that. Pour us around.
I wish I could. Seems the barrels have run dry tonight. But if you'll come back on the morrow...
Run dry? You've enough for these drunkards? You can't spare a drop for those of us who are risking our lives for you on the battlefield? Ah!
Oh, this is where this is going.
Hey! Who are you calling a drunkard?
Don't you fools go spoiling the one spot of happiness we've had in a long while.
Enough! My tavern's a place for forgetting troubles, not stirring them up. You do well not to look down your noses at the very people you've sworn an oath to protect. You want respect? Go out there and earn it by ending the war. Then there'll be drink aplenty to go around.
You tell them, Hasabara. They're no better than us.
You lot aren't blameless either, you know. These soldiers do put their lives on the line to protect yours. They get enough grief on the battlefield without you giving it to them off it.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me.
No, I shouldn't have let my temper flare.
Look, there's still some drink left here. How's about you raise a glass together?
Yeah. You can have some of ours, too.
Well, don't mind if I do.
Level head you've got on your shoulders there, Hasabara.
It helped that you pitched in when you did.
Ah, now that hits the spot.
Doesn't it? Here, I'll pour you another.
See? Now this is what I live for. Giving people a place they can come together and leave the worries of the world behind for a while. Somehow, I know this is what Theo would have wanted me to do. If only I could raise a glass with him.
Aye, I reckon he'd be proud. You've made a spot of sunshine for people who don't get much of it these days. People like me.
What with business booming again, it looks like I'm going to have my hands full for a while. Don't you worry for your mama, Theo. As long as there's ale to be poured and smiles on her customers' faces, she'll be just fine.
Right, her child died during the Salt Iron War. He'd be 30. Because she's older than she looks. Also, that's another one. Who we got? Lionel uses the Wolfport name to sell dubious goods, but will he get away with it? Alright, he was selling some potion saying it was everlasting life underneath the Wolfport name.
You! Just what was in that swill you sold me?
Ah, my good sir. Don't you look to be in a fit of pique? But what does it have to do with Lionel?
Don't play coy with me! That was no secret elixir you sold me. An elderly nobleman bought the entire batch, and all he got for his troubles was a whole day atop his chamber pot!
Ah, diarrhea. Dysentery.
Ah, perhaps the tonic's invigorating effects were too potent for a man of such venerable age. While Lionel is sure his digestive system has been duly cleansed, methinks a smaller dosage should suffice next time.
Digestive system? Dosage? You said that medicine granted eternal life.
Lionel recalls saying nothing of the sort. We did converse about rumors of such an elixir existing prior to the transaction, but that was all.
Yeah, he has you on that one. He talked about the elixir of eternal life, and then he started talking about the elixir he sold you.
If you harbor any doubts, pray consult the bill of sale. Rest assured that any misunderstanding stems from your own negligence.
For all the good it'll do me now, I might as well wipe my ass with it.
My friend, a merchant's seal is his word. Consider this a lesson to read the fine print more carefully in the future.
You two-faced charlatan! You'll pay for this!
Two-faced? Has your own coin purse not grown mysteriously fat, despite the heavy taxes on salt? I dare say more so than market prices would conceivably allow. One wonders, what is the punishment in Hyzanth for those who do business outside the purview of the state?
You can't threaten me! I'll gut you like a fish!
Oh!
Knocked out.
Seems you needed protection after all.
Shut up! Lionel had the matter well under control. Did you kill him?
He's just unconscious. Killing him would only attract unwanted attention.
Nevertheless, he gave Lionel quite a fright. That knock on his head couldn't have been good for the fool's health.
The only fool here is you. Using the name of House Wolfort to swindle others? How long did you think this charade would last? I'll give you one chance to stop, or else you'll end up next to him in the dirt.
Lionel will have you know he has friends in high places. Yes, very high places.
Really? Okay. Are you really going to try and bluff your way?
So high, in fact, that yes, Lionel now sees the error of his ways. His thinking so far has been positively unambitious. It is Lionel who holds the purse strings of House Wolfort, and it is he who must see to it that said purse is overflowing with riches. He has been a fool. Only a fool would squander his talents with such petty deceits. But Lionel does not lose heart easily. No, he shall redouble his efforts. For such is his burden, the burden of a loyal servant tasked with guiding his house to boundless fortune. Ha ha! Let us begin our new work post-haste.
Okay.
That took a turn for the unexpected. What am I supposed to do with him? Knock him senseless and drag him back to the castle? It may come to that.
Probably best to do so. We already have House Wolfort apparently swindling people. And Lionel's done. Who's next? Oh, Julio! I haven't used you in a while, my man. I'm sorry.
Lord Serenoa, may I speak with you?
About that noblewoman, yes? Eridor's told me what happened.
Forgive me. I know that I should have waited for your orders before acting. But I could not leave that woman to her devices.
Oh, right. The woman that was swindling people and getting taxes and rations from the farmers.
The longer the war goes on, the more the people suffer. I imagine their feelings toward their rulers must be souring. In spite of this, that woman tried to use your name to wrest their food away. Had we let her go free, people would have thought she was acting on your orders, and their mistrust of you would have only grown. I believed we had to show them that soldiers stand for justice, and acted. I accept whatever punishment you deem fit.
I do not think you're getting punished at all, man. You did the absolute right thing, and that is stopping a woman who was using her status and faking being part of Wolfort And it's taking from the poor people who barely had anything to give with.
There will be no punishment, for you have committed no wrong.
Exactly.
My lord.
Anna looked into her. It seems that woman's ill repute dates back to her days in Glenbrook. Likely, she thought to obfuscate her misdeeds in the Crown City by hiding within my troops. But she wasn't able to conceal her true self in the end. I suppose she thought to earn my favor with the stolen food. Unfortunately for her, she misjudged my principles.
Lord Serenoa.
Forgive me for my oversight in this matter. I shall take all necessary precautions to ensure nothing like it happens again.
So, you aren't upset with me for throwing a noblewoman in jail?
Right, because the reason why he originally got kicked out of Astfrost is he found that someone was swindling money and was moving the numbers around, and he found out about it, went to his higher-ups, and they said, do not talk about this. It's the way it should be. And so he, yeah, okay, yeah.
Had I been in your position, I would have done the very same. For her misdeeds in Glenbrook and the crime you caught her committing, I shall order her banished at once. She will never again be welcome in the Wolfort domain. Let it serve as a deterrent to any others who would prey upon the common people. It is rare that I meet someone so committed to holding those of high birth accountable for their actions. I hope you will continue to do so. House Wolfort must be a house the people can trust.
Of course, my lord. You have my word.
Hey man, excited for it. You have some good moves, I'll tell you that. Also, you're actually pretty good.
I knew I made the right choice. Unlike Patriot, Lord Serenoa is a man worth serving. Yes, I finally found where I am meant to be.
Oh, right, it was Patriot.
I cannot rest on my laurels. Yes, I must serve my new lord as best I can.
It wasn't in Astfrost, it was in Patriot and Glenbrook. Right. And Patriot was moving around funds and taking a bit more than he should have. And that's another one. Guys, we need to go here and see what's here. Alright. While paying a visit to a nearby village, which is Serenoa, Jens finally realizes what he can do as a blacksmith.
This place was host to a battle not long ago, wasn't it?
We have come here to help. Let us offer what relief we can.
I never imagined the war would spiral this out of hand. Before the fighting started, all I cared about was becoming the realm's greatest blacksmith. I dreamed of forging the perfect weapon, a testament to strength. But what is strength, truly? Of late, I have pondered much on that question.
And have you arrived at an answer?
Well...
There they are! Thanks for the sweets you gave us. Hey, let's play a game!
Very well. What shall we play? Apologies, Jens. You may return. You needn't wait for me.
Jens, right. Not Jens.
Come on! Over here!
I believe I may have found my answer, Lord Serenoa.
Ah, okay, now I get it. Nothing to do with the story. If you listen to everyone else's voices, they're crisp and clear. Jens' voice is very muffled. It's coming through a different microphone. It's clear enough you can understand what it says, and it's almost close enough to the basic dialogue everyone else has, the audio quality, but it's muffled. And I think it's a different microphone. He's muffled. That's all I have to say. If you listen, you can hear it. It's weird.
Courage, kindness, warmth that kindles a smile upon a child's face.
Like, when he's talking right now, it makes me think he's thinking it. And when he talks, it's going to be clear. But no, he is talking right now. And it sounds so muffled.
The fortitude to keep fighting, no matter what trials you may face. Through it all, your heart remains unbent and unbroken.
Damn right.
That is what will end this war. You, my lord, and the unmatched weapons you carry within you.
Hey, you should play with us too!
If you insist, here I come!
Yeah, if you listen to the little girl talk and then him, yeah, it's some different audio quality there. I mean, it happens. Sometimes the VA is probably too far to record something and all this and that, but hey, the former saint has only one regret left in his heart.
Who in their right mind sends an old man on a scouting mission? Oh, goddess take me. I can't wait to retire. Of course, I can't very well do so until the war is over.
What will you do once it is?
I can't say I have any plans in particular. But there is one regret I'd like to remedy. I'd like to find my first love. I still dream of her, even all these years later.
Oh, bad news, man. Well, actually, no, I've hope for you.
Huh.
She was the general of the Frosty forces during the siege of the Citadel of the Sands. The turning point of the Salt Iron War, that was.
Wait, are you talking about Iron Fist lady? Oh, if so, that's gonna be interesting.
I never learned her name. We were enemies, yes, but it was clear from the battle we waged how much we admired one another. She caught a beautiful figure on the battlefield. Her every movement was majestic. More than anything, she was a fearsome warrior.
Please tell me she was using her fists as her weapons, because I know who this is.
Truly, there is none in the world like her. I wonder what might have been had we met in a tavern instead of as enemies.
I see. I hope you can find her then.
As do I. As do I.
Well, looky here. Easy mark.
Oh, do not doubt that man. He will instantly shoot you down.
Let's get them before they wise up.
Oh wait, she's coming in, isn't she?
There.
He saw us? We're too far away. Inhumanly possible. Monster!
Damn, never mind, he's on point.
How did you sense those bandits from such a distance?
Brats like that will never get the better of me. Until this war is over, I've only begun to fight.
I can see you mean that.
Ah, that's it. I know what I'm going to do when we're done fighting. I'll travel the land till I find the Frosty general who caught my eye.
I think I know who she is.
It's strange, but I sense her presence wherever I go. Might be she's closer than I think.
I mean, you're right.
If that's the case, I'd better do what I can to end this war, and fast. Time to work twice as hard for an early retirement.
Yeah, I have great news, man. She's in the team. She's waiting for you. Just go talk to her. And now he's done. And now Narv heals an injured child with grandfather's magic. Narv.
Damn it all. At this rate, I'll never come close to carrying on Grandfather's legacy. Maybe I was never destined to be a great mage after all.
Ow! It hurts!
Oh no, the poor child's fallen.
Hey there. Are you hurt?
Ow! It hurts so bad I can't even stand!
Not to worry. I'll fix you right up. So dry those tears.
Really?
Yup.
The pain will disappear like magic. You'll see.
Accidentally cast fireball.
Whoa! It doesn't hurt anymore. Thank you, sir. Grandma, look! My leg's all better now.
Well, I'll be. Thank you so much for healing my grandson.
You don't need to thank me. This is nothing.
Those robes. You wouldn't happen to be a student of the Archmage Grandante, would you?
How do you know about him?
You know my grandfather?
Oh, of course I do. What a great man he was, always using his magic to help those in need, much like you. I was just one of many whose lives he saved. Why, that was over 30 years ago. I lost my house to the fires of war and nearly my life along with it. But he quenched the flames with his spellcraft and healed my burns. Had it not been for the Archmage Grandante, I would not be here today. I am forever in his debt.
Well, it seems Hyzant can write him out of history, while those he's touched in the past will always remember him.
Even though grandfather's name was erased from Hyzant's records, his memory lives on in the people he helped.
Oh gee, thanks for just repeating what I just said.
It sounds like he was a truly amazing man indeed. And I know he would be proud of you for following in his footsteps.
Do you really think so?
I do. And I have no doubt that one day you will restore the glory to your grandfather's name. No matter what the Ministry does to erase his existence, his spirit lives on through you.
Right. But I must keep practicing, that I might help even more people with my spells. Just watch me, Grandfather. I'll restore the honor of your name if it's the last thing I do.
Alright, that should be another one done. Yep. Holy cow, that was a couple of them. Ooh. Actually, I'm gonna just probably save it right here. I will. There we go. And we'll do this, and I'll call it. Roland takes steps to rebuild the Crown City, but Patriot and the Royalists have other ideas. Of course they are.
The coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on right now.
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith, besides which it is the Royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be, and right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolford will see your subjects shan't go hungry.
I see where he's coming from. Let's put on a coronation ceremony to show people we're back and we're ready for you. But Roland, I think, is right. We're mid-war. War's not over. People are hurting. People are starving. They have no homes, jobs. Do we really need a coronation ceremony right now?
But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory so much as announcing the return of Regna's rightful heir. To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol.
Serving his people.
You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. We will assume that burden. After all, you have only just been crowned.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriot. That is my command.
Hewitt was about to knock him out.
As you wish, King Roland.
Easy there, Hewitt. It's fine. It's fine.
How fare things, Hewitt? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzant, but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
Oh, great. The Royalists are taking him.
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriot and the Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
Damn those Royalists! They cannot be left to their own devices.
Oh, man. They're just making a mess of things right now. We're trying to return order. What are they doing? Screwing everything. Oh, hey, look. I'm going to do that next. Actually, I can do it now. With Glenbrook reclaimed, as Frost dealt a heavy blow, Hyzant takes the opportunity to make a strategic move. We shall take over Glenbrook now.
House Wolfort and Minister Exham's forces have reclaimed the Crown City. And not only that, they have dealt a heavy blow to the Esfrosti forces in killing Thalos and other commanding officers.
So this is the thought that's hitting me. Every other Saintly Seven, we see their faces and their figures clear. The only one we never ever see is Tenebris. And I'm wondering if he is somebody else on a different side and it's like a double agent. I wonder what his if he means well with the Hierophant and all that, because he could backstab them and be someone completely different. But he's the only character in the Saintly Seven in this area we have not seen what they actually look like.
We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
Oh, to see Gustadolf's face when he hears the news. Now he'll have no choice but to come crawling to us on hands and knees, begging for salt.
I can tell you now that's not going to happen because he has a mind full of it.
Though, this could be our chance to crush the duchy once and for all.
Just because they're licking their wounds does not make them easy prey. They still have their iron, after all.
Pah! Iron. We can get iron. All we need do is make Glenbrook hand over the Grand Norzelian mines to us.
There we go. They finally come back into play. The problem is that mine has more than just iron. It has, I believe, salt.
A paltry price to pay for our bountiful aid in their restoration of the Crown City.
Also, yeah, I see where they're coming from. We helped. I mean, we gave you a bunch of materials and resources to bring your people back and help alleviate what they're going through. And on top of that, we gave you a bunch of soldiers and fought a war for you. Give us the mines. That's it.
The Grand Norzelian Mines. The spark that lit the flame of Esfrost's aggression.
Yep.
But why go through the trouble to seize an iron source when they have all the iron they could ever need?
Yeah, exactly.
I should have Milo look into the matter.
Minister Edor?
Well, regardless, we control the salt. I say we bide our time until Esfrost admits they are defeated. Besides, Glenbrook seeks our aid in their reconstruction efforts, do they not?
We do.
Yes. King Roland and Minister Serenoa have both asked for help and sent reports detailing the extent of the damage to the Crown City.
Send forth a veritable bounty. To Minister Serenoa of the Saintly Seven, that is.
Ah, yes. A show of the goddess's grace to the people, and as a wedge to drive between him and the king.
Esfrost, Glenbrook, they will both be ours before long.
Okay, I see where the game's going now. I mean, I saw it before, but Esfrost is gonna come down from the north and go from the north, and they're gonna try and retake over everything. Meanwhile, we have Hyzant, who's gonna be coming from the east, and is gonna try and take over Glenbrook and North. Oh yeah, oh boy, power struggles. They want control of everything. Asphalt wants control of everything. Meanwhile, we just want peace. We're stuck between two nations who are after each other's throats right now. And each one thinks they have the upper hand of the other. We'll do that next time. Alright, this one's going long enough, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!